This is my response video for Patrick Bet David's video where he's asking for responses about whether you're a leader or a manager. And I've been in both positions, and I do well in both positions, but overall I think I'm a leader, as I've never been satisfied as a manager. My leadership can be traced back to when I was a child. I was always, organizing games for the neighborhood to play, organizing get-togethers between everybody in the neighborhood, organizing get-togethers so we could write raps or design skits, comedy skits, or put together comic books. I was always starting clubs, and trying to figure out how we could earn money to buy matching jackets for clubs. Trying to figure out how we could all get together and manage resources to make the games that we were designing work, or to make the whatever we were gonna do just come together and everybody would have what they needed, and I always did well at that and enjoyed it, and it would all just kind of come naturally. When my kids started playing sports, I've coached my kids since my oldest was 6, and he's 19 now, going on 20, and I've been coaching ever since then, and I always do very well. In that, I always do things my own way, whereas the parents will start off kind of questioning me and even maybe mad at me a little bit, but then when the team goes undefeated or just does really well against anybody that they go up against, and they watch how their kids grow while under my direction, they start to catch on and like me, and I still get calls 2-3 years down the road asking me if I want to coach. Started businesses that have failed, haven't given up. It's the same. I have my own way of doing things that I see work. I see it works. I have success within my techniques and tactics concerning what I'm teaching people. And so this is why I think I'm a leader. I'm always I always have a new idea. I can visualize the future. My powers of visualization are huge. I will say where I'm having issue is getting, I guess you're not a leader unless you have followers. And I have followers, or people that are wanting to come along for the ride, but I'm having issues where getting them to realize their own potential, and realizing that they have to work fairly hard at whatever it is. If they're on my project, they're gonna have to work hard to and not slack to get it done. And if I'm on their project, they're gonna have to work, or I'm gonna have to work hard to help them complete their project. I guess in the leadership position too, I am a drive hard type of person where you give me a task and I am all in and I'm going for it. And this is intimidating if it's somebody else's project, because it begins to look like I'm taking over to some people, but I don't know if that's the case. I think it really begins to look like this task is going to get done, and there's this person working very hard, and meanwhile I'm still waking up, the other person's still waking up late. They don't have a checklist, or if they do, they don't have things checked off their checklist. And when I show up, I kind of expose that, and I run into that problem as well. Whereas I will show up, I'll have a checklist, I'll have an assistant, I'll have some ideas, I'll have some things checked off the list, and many people that I deal with thus far, that intimidates them, and they'll admit to it openly. So as a leader, what I'm looking for right now is people who can keep up with my energy and help me harness it towards my own goals and harness it towards their own goals. So ultimately, I think I am a leader, and I will continue to fine-tune my leadership skills. There's that too. Like, that's all I'm interested in, really. Like, I'm constantly studying leaders in history, modern day leaders. I value, like, if I'm sitting here talking to somebody, I'm like listening for their motivations, listening for their triggers, seeing what gets them going, right? And then also listening to, like, so people with motivations and triggers will use those motivations and triggers towards me, so I'm aware if somebody's how they're trying to motivate me, or how they're trying to steer me, and not allowing myself to veer off my path. And that, I think that's a leadership trait too, being aware of your influences around you, and I'm very aware of that. I still fall into it sometimes, where though I know somebody's trying to steer me a different way, I may go along with it a little bit, but that's come back to bite me in the butt a bunch of times, and so I've really cut that off recently. So overall, I think I'm a leader, not a manager. I can do well as a manager for a bit, but it's not satisfying towards me at all, especially if the leader of the project I'm managing has no vision, has no drive, has no passion for what's going on. Then I don't want anything to do with it. And concerning leadership, like, I'm always trying to find, like, a solution. Always. I'm always looking for a solution, and I always believe there is a solution. Even in the worst of times, I'm trying to think of a solution. Not only just, like, thinking of a solution, but trying things. Try this, try that, apply something from this, apply something from there. Maybe I heard something, and a saying or something, or Benjamin Franklin, who I'm reading about right now and studying a little bit, like, stealing some of the, like, he had this going on. Like, right now I'm reading the autobiography of Benjamin Franklin, and I'm seeing, like, oh man, Benjamin Franklin got stuck in some of the same situations that I'm in, or have been in, and worked his way out of it, right? So you're taking these things and applying it, and not being somebody who just have something happen to them and give up. And it could be something, you know, I got things going on that have been going on for like 6-7 years now, and I'm just now seeing the light at the end of the tunnel for this thing, and, like, suffering and trying to solve it, and getting kind of whacked over the head through trying to solve it, and then trying again, and whacked over the head again, and trying again, and, you know, not getting whacked, or having a swipe taken at me, but I diverted it, and getting better and better at solving this dilemma. And so as a leader, like, seeing that there are solutions, believing that there are solutions, and translating that to the people around you so they can have stronger lives as they grow, and building leaders. So that is an interest of mine. I'm not interested in defeating my team. I'm interested in building leadership amongst my people, you know, my friends, my family, my associates. All right.